Someone asked me at the comment section of one of my videos, why do I always have this pot of water right here, right? And I had to chuckle because maybe they thought it was part of the reading. You notice I don't do any palabra with my reading. I don't have candles burning. I tried to do that when I was reading in my little office, which I'm going to be turning my office around today to try to make it work for me. I started to become allergic to whatever the candle was. My eyes swole up and I was, oh, go away, go away, go away. Go away. Evie, come get it. Hate those things. Jada can whack them. My daughter, oh, you're going to get whacked. See my book right here? Get it, Evie, get it. Get it, baby. Defend grandma. She's a lab blue healer mix, so she will bark at butterflies and beetles and everything else. Yeah, this water is here because my husband feels like it's his job to put water for the birds. We don't put any food. We don't have a bird feeder because we've always had dogs. You know, we've always had 2 or 3 dogs. No, we only have 1. So he put this water here in this pot that I threw out, right? I gave it to him to be a planter. And we don't like the water here because the dog will splash in it. And I feel like whatever the birds leave behind when they drink and they poop in there and stuff, I feel like it causes her allergies to flare up. So my son will come out here every day and throw this water out. My husband will fill it back. We have a basin up there with water for the birds, but he doesn't think it's enough. I have to have this pot of water here for the birds, you know, because the Bible says that God provides for the very birds that fly in the air. And so he uses man. He uses man to do that. That's his thing. I'm telling you. This man crazy. So I'm going to read Lenormand. I didn't know what to read on today, but I got dressed up. Look, my necklace, the earring matches, but I can't find the other one. So you know what? That's what I'll do. And people say, you know, you have 2 different earrings on, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's not 2 different pairs of shoes. I've seen people do that, where they wear the same shoe but a different color, like navy blue or black, and they're out there and nobody told that poor lady that she had that type of shoe. Yeah, so anyways, we're going to read on Paul Pelosi. I don't like to read on politics too much. You know, I'm a Democrat. I haven't hidden that, right? So I don't like to read on politics too much because it gets boring to me, but I'll read on stuff like, is Mitch McConnell dead or alive? What's going to happen at this big political event or whatever. By the way, JLR went to Washington, D.C. and he went in front of the White House. And while he's there just streaming, you know, random stuff, some guy, this Indian looking guy, pulled up at the gate. Well, he walked up to the gate and he had a big brown paper sack like this tall. And something like maybe a shipment came in it or something, right? We don't know what was in there. But he came and he said, I'm here to see the president. I've got business with him. So the Secret Service is like vetting him, you know, like, who the hell are you? They probably know he crazy. And he gives them his ID. JLR is filming. But JLR went and interjected himself and said, can I ask what business you have with the president? And the guy was, I think the guy was like, I'm not going to tell you or something like that. He said, I couldn't hear. And the Secret Service told JLR, it's your right to film out here, but please don't interact with him because we're dealing with it. And JLR just backed up like, okay. So they ran the guy's ID and then they put him in handcuffs. He didn't fight or anything. It was just like, okay. And then they checked and he had like a hospital bracelet on. So I don't know if they just let him out of the loony bin or whatever. I don't know. But I'm going to ask about Paul Pelosi because I just saw, we're going to look for the man. This is Lenormand. We're going to look for the man. I just saw when I opened Yahoo News, and they know how to write that thing slick. They said Pelosi involved in a possible hit and run, and charges might be filed. I'm going to go, Nancy, is that you? You know, I really respect and admire Nancy Pelosi, but I just don't like the old school Democrats anymore. I feel like we need somebody progressive like Mamdani to turn the ship around. I'm so tired of the same old, you know, and I don't both sides the parties. I don't do that. But both of them have a thing about them where it's like, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be done or not. And then the Republicans get in and tear it up and do what they want to do. And then the Democrats will get in and say, oh, no, we're going to go back to status quo. I'm sick of status quo, you know. So anyways, God, this is not a good hand for Paul. Paul is in the middle where we put him. Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband. Remember somebody had broken in their house and whacked him in the head or whatever, and I don't know. Why are these old people still driving? You know, I'm 59 years old and I hardly ever drive anymore because back in 2015 I suffered horrible vertigo. For 22 months I couldn't get back up on my feet properly. And so I took myself off of driving, and now I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't have that vertigo right now or anything. But I'm still like, if I don't have to drive, I won't, you know? Cross, pain and suffering. He got a burden to bear. We're going to look it up in the book. Snake. Okay, deceit. Paul is in the middle. The house, the White House. Maybe Trump might interject himself into this. And the anchor can keep you safe or keep you stuck. All right, so let's look at the cross really quickly. Number 36. Go away, fly. We hadn't had flies in like 10 days, and I went and I picked up all the dog poop, and now there's a ton of flies. Okay, pain, suffering, burden, grief, guilt. I hope nobody got injured. I didn't see the whole thing. And then, oh, this wind feels nice right here. It's a hot day, but the wind's blowing nice. And then the snake is about deceptive, dangerous, trouble, lies. I don't know what that's about. Did he really do this? It's alleged, right? Is somebody gonna lie on him? Was he drinking? And then the house is about home, right? Home, family, real estate. And then the anchor, it's about keeping you stuck or keeping you safe. Okay, do we want to pull tarot? Bless me. Do you do that to yourself? We're gonna pull tarot on the cross and the snake, okay? Because those are the two bad cards for Paul. And then I'm gonna shift. I don't have anything else I want to read on. I don't know about any other cases enough that I could read on some other case. I know the 250 is almost over if it's not done, and I know there was a lot of disasters going on. I know that the New York Brooklyn Bridge was on fire last night because of fireworks. Ooh, all kind of foolishness. So we're gonna finish up this Paul reading, and then maybe I might shift and do something a little bit different. So I don't have oh, they're all coming upside down because I shuffled upside down, but I don't read upside down or reverse, so I am gonna flip those. Okay, all right. So the cross, there was a collaboration going on, a teamwork. Is this teamwork to do the cover up, or this teamwork they were maybe like celebrating a project or something like that? Not sure. And then he's got this I can see this card coming up. Maybe that's why the cross is about a burden. And here this tarot card comes to confirm it. The 9 of Swords is about anxiety, sleepless nights, burden. So is Paul okay, like mentally, from the time he got hit in the head? You know, and I know somebody, a friend of mine that always calls and go, don't you think Paul was having an affair with that dude that broke him? Like, I don't know, I don't care. Like, I don't let a lot of these things get to me, guys, because it'll overwhelm you. It'll make your chest constrict, and I don't want to go through that, you know? 4 of Wands, they were celebrating something. He was at a party. Maybe a 4th of July party? When did this accident happen? I just saw about it today. Then the snake, 5 of Swords, conflict, defeat, dishonor, competition. Some kind of fight. Was he fighting? Was he fighting with somebody in the car or somebody on the phone? And then skill building, dedication, hard work, the 8 of Pentacles. What does Paul do for a living? Is he retired? Because Nancy old, so Paul must be old. At Tower. Chaos, upheaval, crash. You know, he might get arrested. He might get some charges. Paul, you know, they've been wanting to put charges on them long time ago. You know, Trump liked Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, then he hated them. And you know, I have people like Trump in my family. And they know how to make you feel sorry for them. They know how to be victims and make you feel sorry for them, and then you get sucked up into their crap again, and pretty soon you're at the crappy end of the stick. So for this next part of the reading, I want to ask this question. What are they thinking about you? What are they thinking about you? So you who are watching me, all right, this goes for you. You know who you are. And you're sitting there wondering, you might have met somebody new and you're wondering what they're thinking about you. You might have a friend that you don't trust because they're kind of acting kind of weird, and you might be wondering, what are they thinking about you? So what are they thinking about you? Let's clean up this Lenormand deck right here. So let's ask the question, what are they thinking about you? We're going to pull 5 cards and the one hidden underneath the deck. We didn't show anything hidden underneath the deck a little while ago because we read differently, right? We don't show underneath the deck when we do Lenormand. Let's see what's here. Page of Pentacles. Maybe we should start doing that too. Like when I cut it, see what's there. Page of Pentacles. Remember that, Page of Pentacles. All right, so now we're going to pull 5 cards. And you know I always move some. That's just my thing. You can always pull the cards right off the top in sequence, but you know, my friend Julie, who is my mentor, says you just pick something that makes you feel comfortable and something that you can do like in your subconscious state, and that will work for you. So I always move some. I see Lady G does that too. She'll move some. Afefe will do this. I can't do it though. Like, and then she'll go in the middle and pull the card and ask one question, like what should we know, you know, spirit or whatever, and she pulls it. Oh, okay. And then she'll fine-tune the question and pull. Maybe I could do that one day and see how that works. So this is what's hidden underneath the deck, what we don't see coming. 9 of Cups. This is what they're thinking about you. Fulfillment, satisfaction, gratitude, luxury. So you who are watching, somebody that you know might be thinking that they're grateful to have you in their life. All right, let's see the next card. The High Priestess, intuition, mystery, inner wisdom, secrets. Now you could read this and say somebody's keeping a secret from you, and maybe somebody who's watching me, maybe that is your case. But initially, if I'm applying this to me, I feel like somebody that has a lot of intuition is watching me and thinking, you know, Barbara's pretty cool. You know, if you notice, I try to read positive. I don't try to read negative. I'm the kind of person, when I was younger, I could speak a thing and make it so. But it was always bad things. Like when somebody hurt me, I could speak a curse. Like I remember one time, a family member on Joe's side of the family got me in some stupid gossip. I don't want to tell too much of the story in case they find my video. I don't want to bring up old things. And I told him, I hope the truck you're driving, because he drove trucks for a living, breaks down in the dead of heat. It was July, on the freeway, with no help coming to you. Within half an hour, he sent the picture. And it's like, why? Why'd you have to speak that over me? He later came and apologized for what he did to me, and we made up. But yeah, the truck never worked again. The police had to come and tow the truck off the freeway. He did get help. Frugality, fear of loss, saving, greed. This is about hoarding. Maybe the person looking at you is thinking, she likes to hoard. But maybe you're not a hoarder. Maybe you just know what it's like to go through hard times like I do. And you hold on to everything tightly. You know, let me tell you something. God will never ask you for something that you don't have. He will ask you for something that you don't want to give up. All right? So just to give you an example, my daughter wanted me to make some jam rolls for her friend because they went on this trip and the friend came from Northern California and the friend loves jam rolls. Oh, this is one of the things we're going to eat today too. Garnaches. See, my daughter has 4 in her plate there. And this is in one of my cookbooks. She was leaving for work and I said, pose with this and let me take this picture because she looks so pretty. Look how the card is scratched up. And so that became 4 pentacles. That's what we do. Yeah, so I had literally 1 cup of sugar left. Yes, I had my kombucha sugar, my, what do you call it? Organic cane sugar. It's big granules. It's not just like the regular sugar. And I could have probably blended that, but I have my kombucha sugar set up that I know what time of the year I have to go buy another sack, right? So I won't get into that. But I had 1 cup of the regular sugar left, and I needed that to make the jam roll for the girl. And I don't want to do that. I'm not going to go to the store till like the 1st or the 3rd. I think it was the 3rd. Yeah, we went Friday. And I needed to make it on the 2nd. So I used my sugar, and I didn't want to give up that cup of sugar. But then I reminded myself that God will never ask me for something that I don't have. He will ask me for something that I don't want to give up. And I want to give up that cup of sugar. But I did. And the thing came out so lovely, and the girl was so appreciative, and it was all worthwhile at the end because then I went and bought sugar on the 3rd. Partnership, love, ooh, girl, you're gonna get a proposal. You who are watching, I know who you are. This is what I do when card readers read and I watch it and then putting out the blessings out there. I'm like, I'll grab that for me, girl. That's for me. And then the Seven of Swords. Uh-oh. Look out, guys. Look out. Somebody's trying to make an investment, and it doesn't seem all that honest. Be careful. I had 2 different offers this year from people that I don't think they were going to rip me off per se, but they're going to work me like a donkey. That's what Belize people say. No, that's a big cuss word. Don't be a donkey. Means don't be an a-hole, right? They were going to work me like a donkey. And they were going to make all the profits when I was going to make peanuts. I don't always pull cards for myself. But when the offers came in, and it just... 2 different people, 2 different offers. One of them was for my powder bun dry mix. And one of them was for something else. God, what was the next thing? I don't remember. But I distinctly remember the powder bun dry. I'm going to have to ask Joe what was the other thing. But anyways, the powder bun dry mix that I was selling, this is a little tea cake that we make, and I made it into a dry mix. Sold it in a little package, and you know, got permits and everything to sell it. And this guy saw that, and he wanted me to actually like sell it through him, and he was going to get me in the stores and this and that. But I would have had to put out all the money, go to all the vendors to find the packaging, to get it professionally packaged, go back and make the powder bun and give out samples, and he would have stayed in Chicago and just collect like 5% off of my head all day long. I'm like, oh no, I like this, what I'm doing here. This feels easy. And by the way, if you want to donate to the cause, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to donate, I've got my PayPal email down below in the comments somewhere. I just put it there the other day. It's macdimple@yahoo.com. You want to know how I got that stupid? I have another PayPal account that I do for my book sales, but this one is for donations. My maiden name is McNabb, but it's not spelled M-A-C, it's M-C-N-A-B. And I'm the only one in my family besides my grandpa and one of my female cousins that have a dimple in our chins. And so my dad used to like to call me Curly McDimple because my hair used to be curly when I was little. Not anymore. So Curly McDimple, so macdimple@yahoo.com is my email if you want to donate anything to PayPal. And you have to let them know it's a donation, because if you don't let them know that, they'll take 5% or 3% or whatever. Only if you want to. Don't feel any pressure, okay? You don't have to come back and tell me, oh, I wish I could give, but I'm on a fixing. I hate seeing that in other people's comments. I couldn't donate to any other causes I wanted to donate to because I'm struggling myself, and I don't feel the need to explain that to anybody. You know what I mean? So what we don't see coming, the Ten of Swords. Holy crap. Something's going to come to an end. For whoever's watching this, if you feel like this is for you, grab this. This is about endings, failure, betrayal. Check yourself. Go by your own intuition. I always tell you guys that. Go by your own intuition, because all of us have that intuition or that discernment. And we doubt it because we feel like we don't have that power. I've doubted myself for years, and I knew that if I spoke a thing and it came true like a curse, it would come true right away. And I asked my friend who is a prophetess, and I go, why when I speak a curse it comes through right away, but when I feel like when I speak a blessing it feels like it takes forever to come through? And she says because, or to come true. And she says because you believe, whole 1,000,000% you believe that curse when you speak it, because you're in anger, you're in rage, and you believe it. But when it comes to the blessing, you kind of believe it. And I said, oh, okay. So that's why I started to not speak curses anymore and only speak blessings, and I believe it 1,000,000% when I speak the blessing. So that Ten of Swords, don't be afraid of it. But perhaps you've been doing business with somebody or having a relationship with somebody, and you've been feeling something for a while, you know, and you're not sure what you're feeling, and you're like, you know, is this coming to an end? Yeah, if that's for you, then that's your card. Do you like that? I feel like it's weird. I don't like to do personal readings. I do personal readings too. I do personal readings. I just haven't dropped any of my commercials in the videos yet. I think I dropped it once. The personal readings are different than this. I sit down, and if I tell you I'm going to pull 3 cards, I probably will pull 10 because I want to be sure. Because, you know, I'm learning. And I sit down and I write a full comprehensive things, the pros and the cons, and what that card means and what it could mean in your situation. But you have to ask a very definitive question, like, should I quit my job? And I'm never going to tell you, yeah, quit that job. I'm going to tell you what the cards lean towards. The card leans towards this, but if you're going to do this, you better do this. So my son says, it's just kind of like advising. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. So what are we going to do for the gush? This reading is all over the place, guys. What are we going to do for the gush? You want us to ask about Mitch McConnell again? Is he alive? You know, I think he's in a coma, right? I don't think he's brain dead. I think he's in a coma. They said he suffered a heart attack when he was taken out of his home unconscious on June the 14th, Trump's birthday. So a lot of people think he's brain dead. My intuition and my cards keep saying coma. Should we read on him again? Let's see. This is for the gush. All right, guys. You guys know how the gush works. It's the encore. I end the video and then I come back with more. 5 cards. Is Mitch in a coma or is he brain dead? Man, I don't know if you could do A or B. I don't know if you could do A or B with tarot. You might have to just ask it one way. Is he in a coma? Let's ask that. Is he in a coma? And then sometimes you get the answer, right? Hidden underneath the deck. Knight of Cups. He's not romantic, charming, imaginative, or artistic. I don't even think he was that way when he was a... Did you know that Mitch McConnell had polio when he was a kid? And Shriners or one of those big hospitals paid for all his expenses to make him even be able to walk right now and stuff? And this man voted against us to have health care? How evil can you be? Celebration, homecoming, community. Ooh. I'm going to tell you what I think. Let me pull more. Hope, healing, guidance, inspiration. The Star. That one was the 4 of Wands. The 5 of Wands. Conflict, competition, right? They're fighting in their neck of the woods on that side, the GOP side. They're fighting to not tell the public how Mitch is really doing because they know that Andy Bashir is going to have to put somebody in that chair. But he's still going to have to put a GOP. But maybe he'll put a mild one. Do they still exist? The World. Completion, fulfillment, travel. He traveling. I still don't feel like he's brain dead. I still feel like he's in a coma. And this right here makes me think that he might end up dying. You know, brain dead is when they have the machine breathing for you and there's no brain activity. But you only have a short amount of time to make a decision when it comes to that, because my neighbor across the street, their young, beautiful, handsome, sweet baby boy, few months before he turned 10, he suffered something that's like an aneurysm, but it's not an aneurysm. I forgot the name of it, but it's like where all your veins and arteries are tangled like Christmas tree wires in your brain and nobody knew. They don't scan for things like that. And so then at some point a blood clot formed at the tangle point. Because an aneurysm is a little bit different, right? An aneurysm, I understand, is like a little shelf or a fold that's in your brain where blood can pool in there or whatever. My uncle, the one that we celebrated his passing yesterday on the 4th, his ex-wife's mom died when the ex-wife was 15 from an aneurysm, and then their son, their biological son, my uncle and his ex-wife, my cousin, he passed at 41 or 42 from an aneurysm. Nobody knew he had it. Of course, they never checked. But his mom always worried that she would have it. But she lived to be 71 and didn't die from that. So I feel like this is their celebration of life that they're going to be doing for Mitch really, really soon. Right? I don't like to predict death on people, but I feel like his is coming. And this would tell you that maybe he could be healed. But I don't think there's any healing him. He's got a lot of things wrong. Heart, brain. Does he even have a heart or a brain? I think this might be healing on the other side. And this is the politicians, they're fighting for his seat. And this is something that's coming to an end. So to answer the question, no, I don't think he's brain dead. It's not something where they have to pull the plug. Oh, I was telling about the young man across, the little boy across the street. They were rushing the parents to pull the plug. Rushing. I remember I went there and laid hands. My prophetess friend was on the phone with me and we laid hands, and you could see that little boy open his eyes. He had the most beautifulest blue-green eyes. And we really thought he was coming back, but there was no coming back from that man. And they were rushing them. They wanted to bring him home on machinery and stuff and take care of him themselves. And they're like, nope, you can't do that. We don't got no machine to send you home with. You got to pull this plug. And they wanted his organs, of course, and the parents said no, and I respected that. I really, because they felt forced. They felt forced to make that decision. So I don't think you can take this long from the 14th to now the 5th. Although He's a big top-notch politician. Maybe they have more options than we do, right? But I still think he's comatose. Get away, get away, get away! What the hell? Beetle? What does that mean? What's the significance of a beetle in the spiritual sense? I'm gonna go look that up. Yeah, I think he's comatose and near death. I think he's on dying. I'm from Belize, so when you say on dying, doesn't mean UN, it's mean on dying, meaning that death is imminent. I feel like his death is truly imminent. I don't think he's gonna come out the hospital. And remember, Tarot Lenormand and Oracle is for entertainment purposes only, okay? You would see me drop the banner along the way. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you like it, please hit the thumbs up. Please share it, right? And what? Comment. I think I have to wait to get to 500 subscribers before you can hype my videos. But we're heading there. The other day we had 10, then we had 30, then 35, then voila, we have 215 or something like that. And even my watchtowers are building. I think I'm close to 1,000 watchtowers. Awesome, awesome. I don't want to get into like being stuck on the numbers. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing, and then hopefully I give you some hope and have you receive some enjoyment too, okay? Now let me go inside and start getting this food ready in case my friend comes, because I don't want to be caught unawares, okay? Bye. Let me show you my dress. This is from Shein, but it's way too big. My daughter bought it for herself and didn't like it because she said it looks like Children of the Corn or something like that. But when I wear it today, my husband's like, "You gonna go do Obia?" I don't deal in black magic or darkness. I deal only in light.